Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Arts Council for Wyoming County. We are seeing lots of new faces that we've never seen before, so thank you for coming out to celebrate Sacred Doorways. And you are actually standing in the presence of the Perry High School art show as well, so we are thrilled to showcase both galleries this evening. About 10 years ago, I had the privilege of experiencing another young artist who paints icons, and I tried to get her to show at our gallery. And it has been my quest for the last 10 years to have a show that celebrates icons during the time of Lent and Easter. And one of my lovely staff members, Ting Bellamy, we were just talking casually, I think about 3 years ago, and I would share with her my desperation, and she says, I have a friend who does that. And the rest is history. We have Gabrielle with us tonight. Unfortunately, Ting just got back from the Virgin Islands, and she's quarantined, so dear Ting cannot be here. And so Ting, if you're watching us by Facebook, hi Ting, and welcome also to our viewers from Facebook Live. We hope that you are, we will give you an opportunity to see the show after the artist talk, as our technical support team will give you a little tour of the pieces upstairs. So thank you again for coming out to celebrate this beautiful exhibition upstairs, and we are very thrilled to introduce to you our young artist, Gabrielle Kettinger.
Thank you everyone for being here. This is wonderful. I did not expect so many people to show up, and I'm so thankful for all the support that I've received from family and friends during this time. I wanted to talk a little bit about why the exhibition is called Sacred Doorways. Icons are essentially doorways. They're windows into heaven. They've been a part of a tradition that spans centuries. And if you think of art as a kind of spiritual language, as soul reaching out to other souls, trying to communicate messages of love and truth, icons almost go a step beyond that, in that they're part of a tradition that's so much bigger than the iconographers themselves. We are recreating images that have already been produced over and over and over again. And we're not actually really creating anything new. We're just contributing to the devotion and the prayer that icons have been utilized as over many, many years. Something that I think is beautiful about icons is that saints that are depicted in these icons actually remind us that we are part of a communion of saints and sinners, a community of people who have gone before us, who have experienced things that we've experienced, that we've struggled with, and have overcome that, and have chosen to pursue excellence, and have chosen to pursue holiness. And that's something that we can be encouraged by. And that's why I choose to be an iconographer and to make icons. I want to encourage people to know that they can achieve holiness, that they can achieve excellence, that in their lives, if they're choosing to pursue excellence, that the most fulfillment can be found in that. I want to read a quote from a book by Irina Yazykova about the underground struggle to save Russian iconography. In this, she discusses what icons are essentially meant to do. The images we find in icons bear witness to the truth that humans were conceived in perfection as an icon of God. The Church Fathers understand our path of spiritual development to be one of uncovering that primordial image and restoring our likeness to God. The Church Fathers considered the true writing of icons the art of arts, to be the process of doing spiritual work. It is this work that cleans and blesses and transfigures us. As St. Paul wrote, "But we all, with open face beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord." Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Gabrielle. I'd like to open it up if anyone has any questions for Gabrielle.
I'll ask, did you use an airbrush on those three on this wall upstairs?
No,
No.
I
Wow.
primarily paint with oil paint, and then I use gold foil for the gold that you see.
Yes. It's incredible.
Thank you.
Would you like to talk about your process at all?
Sure, yeah. So typically icons are made with egg tempera paint, which is extremely old, extremely traditional. That is something that I have not gotten into yet. But I use oil paint, and I typically use poplar wood, which is a traditional wood to be used because it's hard and it lasts a long time. And typically with icons, there are images that have already been created, and so you're taking an image that someone else has created. Sometimes you might tweak it a little bit, make it your own in a way, but essentially the image stays the same, and the symbolism that's there, you keep. And so in that, you would, recreate that icon. That whole process involves a lot of prayer. It involves fasting. It involves contemplation on the saint that you're depicting, or Christ or Mary, whoever it is, and also who might end up receiving that icon. You pray for them as well.
Would you talk a little bit about those two ceramic pieces on the side of the wall that are, it seems like they have other media in
The mosaics or the costumes?
Yes, the mosaics, yeah.
So the two mosaics that are on the right wall when you walk in, those are specifically scenes from the Stations of the Cross. There's Jesus dies on the cross and Jesus carries his cross, and those are part of a larger series I would like to complete at some point. But that's another tradition that has spanned centuries, different interpretations of the Stations of the Cross in different mediums.
So have you always painted icons, or did you paint generally and then you started gravitating toward this, or how did that evolve?
Yeah, when I decided to be an art major, I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do, and so I specifically really enjoyed painting, so I was doing that, and we had an assignment where we were specifically told we could paint anything we wanted, but not to paint anything of Jesus, because typically, Jesus paintings can be a little kitschy, a little cheesy sometimes, and so going to a Christian college, they were just like, yeah, stay away from that, let's not do that, you're just going to do, whatever else you want to do. And I really enjoyed icons. My dad had icons, and I was learning more about them and seeing the beauty in them. And so I decided that I would paint an icon, because I figured, it's not exactly what he's saying. And he gave me a good grade on the project. He was happy with it. But I ended up painting that icon in my dorm room in 9 hours. It's a small Theotokos, which is Mary and Jesus. And through that process, I just knew that's what I wanted to do. So ever since then, I've been just specifically pursuing iconography.
Where is your work outside of here? Have you placed it elsewhere?
I have a large piece at Community of the Savior in Rochester, and I have another piece of St. George on the horse with the dragon in Colorado, actually, at a church there. So it's, just starting to kind of trickle out and trying to, make my way. But yeah, just starting out, really.
People find you on a website?
Yes, so I have a website, Kettinger Icons, and then typically a lot of word of mouth and that kind of thing. It's a hard thing to advertise. It's kind of a niche, and it's not, it's just not something that's easy to advertise. But yeah, I have an Instagram, and I'm just, trying to kind of get the word out there. And yeah, I've been.
Who is Elsa?
So Elsa is my mother. She created the encaustics. She's right here. Yes, and those are specific for Lent and Easter themed. So when Jackie found out that I had family members who also are artists, she said, if you want any of their work in there that goes with it, feel welcome. So that was just a great opportunity. But yeah. And then also, if you notice the candlestick, that was made by Juliana, my sister. And we were hoping to have a few more in, and we might end up having a few more in the show eventually, but she has been focusing in on ceramics, so.
Any other questions? Thank you so very much, Gabrielle. Someone asked earlier if your grandfather was a minister. Where is he? So they're saying yes. So did you meet? Did you make connection?
I just remember from Robert's West.
Oh, okay. So the answer is yes. Yes. So thank you all so very much again for coming and sharing this lovely evening with us. I hope if you have seen the work, you have already been moved to contemplate and meditate. And we invite you to come back and spend time with the pieces by yourself. The show will be up through the 23rd of April. And we want this to be a time of deep meaning for all of us, or all who will see the pieces. So thank you, Danielle. Thank you all for sharing this evening for us. And if you have not yet seen the show, and you would like to do so, we're just going to stand by the stairs and count how very many people can go up. And we ask that you be mindful of those that are waiting, and so on and so forth. So thank you again, and we hope to see you at another exhibition.